Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hanging with the Force. Hanging with the Force basically is a podcast where we talk basketball, we talk sports in general, we talk entertainment, we talk lifestyle, we talk everything, that pertains to a human being's life, entertainment, anything right now. And we're just hanging, you know what I mean? That's what we do. That's why the name is Hanging with the Force. And right now we have a guest, a special guest. This guy he's an innovator. He's a pioneer. We know him as Weber. That's what we know him as. But his name is actually Opeyemi Babalola, and Opeyemi Babalola was a former basketball player, But then he's also an engineer. And this guy he's changed the game. Sorry, let me look for him. 1 minute, y'all. Yeah. Okay. He ain't able to join yet. I've invited him. So, apart from being a basketball player, Opeyemi Babalola is actually making international stand. Oh, there he is. My man, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Good evening, Tingo.
Oh, my man, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, fine, thank you.
Well, all here, I'm doing good. Well, all here for the basketball, man.
So excited to see you, man.
Yes, man. You know what's funny?
What?
We know you as Weber. So I was talking with guys and Gagara. I was like, okay, we're about to do the interview with. Wait, what's his real name? But always know. So
yeah.
So when I heard your name was Opeyemi, I'm like, really? All of us we knew you as Weber, man. That name was iconic.
Yeah.
So yes, before we start the interview, I just want to welcome you. Thank you for taking out your time to actually hang out with the Force and everything. I know you're a very, very busy man. Yeah. So let's start with the first question. Right now,
Okay.
this is not going to be a Q&A. We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
If you have something to say, just say, you know what I'm saying. How did the name Weber come about? Was it Chris Webber? I'm thinking it's Chris Webber, the basketball player.
Yeah. So it was Chris Webber, the basketball player.
Yes.
You guessed right. But again, this was a name that has stuck with me for over 28 years now. So it all started back in 1995 September when my stepmother was coming down to Nigeria from Copenhagen in Denmark. And she asked me, "Oh, what would you like me to buy for you?" I said, "Okay, just buy me any NBA jersey." Okay, and she got me the one for Chris Webber, a replica Chris Webber Golden State jersey. And that was the time I started going to the stadium in Ilorin. So, being taller than most of my peers, when I catch a rebound, I was I was a novice then, and when I catch a rebound, not knowing what to do with the ball, the guys would want me to pass the ball to them. And so they would just shout the name at the back of my jersey. So, and that was how the Weber thing started. Yeah.
Oh, I totally understand. Me, my own, at least your own situation was good. You had a name, Weber. For me, but you know what happened? I got these European jerseys where they had a lot of
a lot of names,
a lot of names on it, like these guys who are advertising. So on my jersey, it was Lapuan Kapunski. So I was wearing my body, and till today, these boys call me Lapuan Kapuski. So I actually understand.
Where was he from? Turkey?
I think. The funny thing is, I don't even know where the jersey came from. I think it was either Turkey. Now that you're thinking, you said it, I think it's Turkey. They have a lot of advertising stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get right into it. let's just use this. What brought you into basketball? I know you were. I know we've played basketball. We have actually played against one another. You used to
Yeah.
be this scary because now you're looking very nice, but that time, dude, you were like, yes. So
Yeah. So
give us
so so
your early story.
for me, you know, I grown to that height where it was so obvious that uh, people started noticing me being taller than my peers, and they kept asking me, "Oh, do you play basketball? Do you play basketball? Or do you fancy basketball?" And I kept asking myself, "What's this game of basketball? You know, and where can I play this game of basketball?" And a, 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 a friend of mine in school back then just told me I could go to the stadium and I would see, people like me there, and that was what happened. I can't forget that, that year in 1995 when I
Wow.
took that bold step to go to the outdoor court at the stadium in the Loring Township Stadium, and there
Mm.
I met great guys. Then the likes of Lasso Fakir used to come back home from Lebanon.
Yeah.
We had Yaya, we had Kola Oba, we had Ayo Samuel,
Yeah.
all of these guys,
My main
some of
man,
them
right?
at that time were playing on the national team. So it was really, inspiring to watch them play. It was really encouraging. I think at that time, the Lassen just got back from a junior national tournament in Cameroon. So they
Yeah.
still always have this national jersey, on.
Yeah.
And it was really a thing of pride,
True.
It was really a thing of pride, back then,
Mm.
going to play for, seeing someone who was representing Nigeria at the national level, it was really exciting to see.
Wonderful. So that actually gave you the impetus to actually start playing basketball. And I know
Yeah,
that in Kwara, you guys have a very rich basketball culture. I mean, Kwara Ilorin has produced so many players. I remember, I think that was it was in Ilorin that Ilorin had one of the only one of the standard indoor basketball
yeah,
facilities. So I remember that time back in the day where every tournament was in Ilorin, it was always in Ilorin and everything.
yeah. There was a lot
So
of
which
tournaments
was
in 1997. Yeah,
yes, yes. I remember they used to do Ramblers
yeah.
and all those tournaments. Yeah. So which was the first team you played for? Like, was it Division One or was it Premier League?
Yeah,
I know the first
it
time I
was
saw.
division. Yeah, it was Division One.
Okay.
We actually went to Kano to play in 1997.
Okay.
That was the year Gombe Bulls and Durham Warriors entered into the Premier League. They qualified to the
Yeah.
Premier League. We
I
we
remember.
actually played the last game against Gombe, which we lost. Okay,
Okay.
that was
Mm.
97. Well, actually, I was just on that team. I didn't make the team for that particular tournament.
Okay.
Again, we have the likes of Solomon Aloma, Rashid Bello,
Yeah.
Yodun Medupin, Shegun Hope. We had
Yeah.
Flexi. There are a lot of great guys, on that team. So
Yeah.
me just coming from a 2-year experience, barely 2-year experience in
Mm.
basketball, wasn't great enough to be on that team.
Yeah.
But subsequently, we came back to Kano again to play in 1998. Um, and then we played in Aparaku Stadium in Makodi. Division One
Yeah, I
as
think that's the
well.
first time
Yeah,
I saw you. That's the
yeah.
first time because I was in Makodi back then. Yes.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
played at Aparku Stadium as well. Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
Then
Amazing,
we
amazing.
went to Bauchi in 2000. I think it was 90. I think
Okay.
99 in Makodi. Then Bauchi 2000, and
Mm-hmm.
by 2001 I joined the Dodan Warriors. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was when you became a chairman. You remember when the World University Games camp, which year was it? 2004. We were
Yeah,
together.
it was 2003,
Okay,
right?
2003. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have my date wrong. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
2003, man. That team was solid. But
It was
unfortunately, all the
so.
politics in this country messed the chances of the guys up. You
Oh,
know, we had two camps. You remember we had two camps that year.
yeah.
In fact, I met fantastic guys at that camp who still kind of
Mm.
influenced, what I do today and who I am today.
Wow.
It's really, yeah, I can tell you for free. You know,
Mm.
one of such people was Coach Mike Akubo.
Mm. Mm.
I was not invited to that camp. I
Yeah.
just get crashed, and this guy accepted me, and I was training with the team.
Mm.
He never even for once said, "Oh no, you're not part of us" or whatever. I was training with the team, and at the time I felt, look, because then we are on the was it the Commonwealth? No, it was All African Games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had the guys who were training for the All African Games in the
Yes.
same campus, and guys who were on FISU camp were on the
Yeah.
FISU team. We're also going to make the All African Games. People like
Yes.
AGK, Obuaja, and
Mm.
who again was it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
the chances were there that, okay, if some other guys go to play All African Games, then there might be some open slot for people like us to also make the FISU team. But that opportunity eventually didn't come. But the friendship, the bond, and everything that we created in that camp still
Mm.
remains till today. Fantastic network. Even with the ladies, it was a huge camp because the
It
ladies
was
were
big.
also in ABU,
Yes.
and
Yes.
also I had the opportunity of meeting Coach OBJ, for the first time as well at that time. It's amazing what the kind of talent you guys had in ABU, and I just hope that the culture that the basketball culture still exists, till today.
Very, very true, my man. Yeah, okay. Speaking about basketball, I just heard recently about that. I don't know whether you want to talk about it, but you had an accident that and you had to go into surgery or something like that. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. So I think I'll be speaking on this for the first time. Oh my God.
If
Okay.
you want to talk about it, please.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. Okay.
all
Yeah.
right.
So during my playing days, I had a couple of impact. Like people running into me. You trying to take a charge or whatsoever, and
Yeah,
the consequences of those kind of plays
yeah,
really is on the spine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you hear that players are paid heavily, this is the reason why. Because in the future, there could be certain injuries they have sustained during
Mm,
their playing days that they will have to nurture, at their old age. So when you hear someone
yeah.
like LeBron is being paid over, $30 million per season, or someone is getting, some ridiculous figures. It's not just because of the talent that they have, the showmanship and the entertainment they provide. It also it's a thing of the value of how what they do today might also impact them in future. So I was unfortunate to have sustained, these many impacts to my spinal cord, and it got so bad later on in life that I had to undergo what was called a laminectomy. So laminectomy is where they open up the spine and take off a lamina from the cervical, and so that was what happened, just to decompress the spine. So there's some disc herniation that has occurred in the spine, and these were causing irritation on the nerves, on the nerve root. So they needed to be taken out or decompressed, that's the word, so that there can be free flow of signal along the nerves. So this was not discovered until I requested, to see a neurosurgeon myself, because a lot of symptoms I had. I went to the hospital and they couldn't, figure out what it was, until one day I went on the internet and, started researching by myself, and the whole thing now pointed to, pointed me in the direction of, seeing a neurosurgeon. And when he, saw me, he requested for an MRI. The MRI revealed quite some disturbing images. So I had to consider either doing the one on the lumbar spine first, or doing the one for the cervical. Obviously, the cervical was more delicate, because if I hadn't done it at that time, I would have ended up being quadriplegic. So that means you lose control of everything from the neck down. Like you can't move your arms. Everything goes, and entropy sets in and all of that. So I was just very lucky and fortunate. So for me, I like to venture into sports medicine again, because of the experience I've had in sports, and I always like to tell people, for everything you do, put your best in it, because whatever it is that may come later on in life, you have gotten value. You've gotten the appropriate compensation for exactly what it is that the challenges might be. It might be some lost opportunity. It might not even be something physical. For some people back in the days, then they had to choose between going to school and playing sports. I don't know if you remember back then when scholarships used to fly around, from Yaba Tech, Unilag, and all of that. And some people would really just, at that time want to go and play in Asia for some token amount of dollars, which was huge at that time. But again, that was an opportunity cost. So if as an athlete today, you should really try to look into the future and say, look, my decisions today, would I be happy with them later on in life? The decisions I take today, will I be happy with them maybe 20, 30 years down the line? So, life happens, but again, you have to make the very best out of it.
Very true, very true, very true. Like, let's address the elephant in the room. Okay, there was a time, like I told you earlier on, I heard Masai talking about Masai Ujiri. He's doing wonderful things for basketball
Yeah,
with Giants of Africa.
yeah,
And he said there's there's this guy who has started fabricating, some basketball uprights and everything, blah blah. And a lot of their problem was importing.
yeah.
So yeah, so this particular dude actually has, he also alleviated that problem, and I was like, wow, this is wonderful. But I didn't know you were the one. You know what I'm saying? And the question I ask is, first of all, I mean, why didn't anybody else think about it? I mean, it was, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, so for me, and I'm going to, spill this on this podcast because
Yes.
I think it's good for a lot of upcoming, athletes to hear this. Um, Growing up, we all wanted to play in the NBA. Okay?
Of course,
Yeah.
that's all of
So,
us.
but I sometimes looked at my tapes, back then, and I kind of looked at it vis-a-vis the guys I see playing the NBA, and it always kind of, I had to come to the reality of the fact that I don't see myself, in that. My game wasn't like those of the likes of Michael Jordan. I couldn't jump as high as he was jumping and everything. So I felt, there was going to be too much hurdle to cross, for me to get to that kind of state. But there was something else I felt I could offer, the game of basketball. At that time, you remember. A lot of us were not introduced into the game of basketball so early enough. So some people, even majority rather, tried to go into college even after they were in university or had finished university. That for me. That for me was too late. So at the time I had the whole of when I had the whole time to play basketball was when I was serving the National Institute for Sports here in Lagos. And for me, I felt that was just too late a time to start trying to get into college or junior college and then working your way up the ladder and everything. So I felt like there's some other things I can do for the game of basketball. At that time, I had a degree in mechanical engineering, and I've always seen these hoops and these uprights, and I felt, look, these are things we can do locally in Nigeria as well. And but I didn't know how it was going to happen. Okay, but one thing I can tell you was that in my final year, my final year project was actually the fabrication of a basketball ring, design and fabrication of a basketball ring. Yeah, that was my final year project at the University of Ilorin. And when I finished service, we all man has to go on hustle now. So I didn't care whether it was an engineering job I was going to get first or whatsoever. But again, I was lucky and fortunate to have worked in an organization where I was exposed to computer-aided design, manufacturing processes, and also computer-aided a lot of computer numeric control machines that helped to, that helped me to organize myself for what was yet to come. And after then, I ventured, I went into the oil and gas industry, worked in a couple of firms, both in Nigeria and outside of the country, and then ended up in Angola in 2015, November. Worked in Angola before then for like 3 years, and then came back to Nigeria the end of that year in 2015 to come and fully set up the company which we know today as Weber Engineering. So at Weber Engineering, we manufacture basketball hoops of various types. The collapsible with collapsible rims and fixed rims. We also have been exporting to various African countries. So we've done nine countries so far. By this time tomorrow, we have another 6 hoops leaving for Kigali, and we are sending another set of hoops to Sierra Leone next week. We've done, it will amaze you, we've done the likes of South Sudan, Senegal, Cameroon, Niger, Burkina Faso, Benin Republic, Congo, DRC, So there's Kenya, So there's a lot of prospect in these. Again, your question, saying, how come nobody else thought about this? Well, it was a long. So I once met Ayo. Ayo finished from Unilag, and he said, I used to think about these too. I used to think about this when I was in school because he did engineering as well. But sometimes you get a message and then you just have to find a way to make it happen. Yeah. If you don't do it, someone else is gonna do it, man.
Someone else will do it.
It's an assignment. Yeah. It's an assignment.
It's so true. It's so true. And like I saw some of the stuff you did, at first I was expecting, okay, yeah, they're good. But when I saw them, like, what? I mean, it's actual international standard, And sorry, I want to tell the audience right now, if you cannot reach Weber, you can reach me. Because we're in the process of becoming, I'm in the process of becoming a distributor. Shay?
Yeah. So they've used some of our hoops at competitions like the Continental Basketball League, Africa Basketball League, and the World Cup qualifiers that was played in Lagos. 2 windows, both windows, our hoops were used for that competition. So we've got well over 200 locations where our hoops have been installed. So the market is there, and for a continent like Africa, we just have to figure out how to reach out to other countries because again, this same problem of insufficiency or lack of proper type of hoops abound in a lot of these other African countries, and we just have to find a way to reach out to them and also solve these problems.
Very true, so true. Now, before we go back to the hoops bar, I know you're someone who's very passionate about the game of basketball. You understand? That's the reason why you're into what you're into. What in your own opinion, what do you think the current state of the Nigerian basketball? I mean, do you have anything to say about our current state of basketball? I mean, things like the league is not running. You understand? I mean, those kind of things. I mean, the league is not running. Things are just happening. What's your take on what's going on?
Well, for me, it's sad to say, that we have all these much resources, we have all these talents, as a country, and we're not leveraging on the 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 talent and resource we have to grow the game and make it a bigger game than what we currently have ongoing. It's so sad, and a testament to that again is what just happened this afternoon. We lost to Congo DRC at the African tournament going on in Luanda. It's sad. This is not this is unlike us. This is unlike us as a giant of basketball in Africa. So my advice would always be that those at the end of affairs should let go of every kind of ego, every kind of things that do not promote or help to present us in a good light, because every other day you hear of this faction, that faction, this friction, that fight going on within the basketball family here in Nigeria. It's really sad, but I want to believe sooner than later we will get there. We just have to continue to push for a better situation, because this is one thing that would affect me and my company as a business. If we don't have a good ecosystem for the game in Nigeria, yeah, fine, we can always take our hoops and products to other countries, but it's sad that a country like Nigeria with over 200 million people can still not get little things like this right. We have great minds in basketball.
Yes.
We have, there was a time I did an analysis. We had in 2021, I guess, over 30 NBA players of Nigerian origin playing actively in the NBA. I don't know if that statistics, makes some sense.
It does.
And at that time we had Ime Udoka as an assistant coach, and we also had a president of basketball operations. A president of basketball operations.
Yes.
A Nigerian.
The first non-American, not the first Nigerian, the first non-American.
Non-American, you see.
Yes.
So we have all these great, minds and resources to leverage on, but it's unfortunate that we are where we are at the moment. And believe you me, if care is not taken, the likes of South Sudan will take over from us. The likes of Angola will wake up again and dominate, and the likes of Senegal will not want to leave, the stage for you to come and dominate again. So it's high time we get our acts right.
I really agree with you. I really agree with you, and I'm so happy that someone like you, for example, has taken over the basketball uprights industry. Like right now, I think in Africa, you're the #1 guy. And
yeah, we are the only ones doing this commercially in Africa as of today.
It's so crazy. I'm so proud of you, man. I tell people that's my dude right there. Oh
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, thanks.
So, yes. Do you see yourself going into other aspects, like, I don't know, maybe courts, floors, those kind of things? Do you see yourself going to all that, or you just want to?
Yeah, we're already into floors, so we currently are distributors to some of the floor tiles manufacturers. yes, we provide even some of them on rental basis for activations and events, and
Okay.
hopefully in the near future we would also, look into how we can start producing locally these floor tires as well. It's huge
Yes.
market, but again, it requires a lot of investment in terms of the machineries required and also the raw materials for getting everything done. But with the right set of people, the right mindset and
Mm.
determination, we can also get that done locally. When you bring in floors, wooden floors, hmm,
Yeah.
is it,
Yeah.
are you saying that you don't have wood in your own country?
Exactly. Exactly. Very true.
So,
Very
so,
true.
so what is, and mind you, by the way, we have even better wood here, you know,
Than
than the
than
ones
they have
that
there, right?
they have there. So, I keep wondering why, when people, talk about making money from sports and they are not looking
Yeah.
into, business ventures like these. They're not
Mm.
looking into it's just all because people don't want to get their hands dirty. They just rather
True.
want to use the pen to write, to change some figures, and then, oh, we went to this tournament and we spent X amount of money. So I think, we borrowed this, and we need to retire this as the expenses, and that's all. Some people think about when they want to make money from sports.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond that. It goes
Good.
beyond basketball or sports. Goes beyond you being a player or a coach or a sports journalist or a sports
Mm.
photographer. There's so many other opportunities that are abound in sports, that you can make a
Very
lot
true.
of money from. Yeah.
Mm.
So definitely, if nobody is doing it, we will definitely do it.
My man. Yeah. So, do you have any collaborations, maybe partnerships in during your operations? Like, should I say architects, or I don't know. I
Yeah.
I,
So
I don't.
yeah. So we employ a lot of people from different disciplines,
Disciplines. Yeah.
quantity surveyors, architects. We have architects working
Mm.
with us. We have designers. We have engineers. We have purchasing guys. We have
Yeah.
accountants. So this is not just um, a firm, that is into welding. When you think about the actual construction,
Yeah.
mind you, we have computer numeric control machines that we use
Mm.
for some of our operations. So we have guys who operate those machines as well. So sports is also an enabling environment to generate wealth
Well.
and employment. Okay, so a lot of the guys who work for Weber Engineering, work at Weber Engineering today, they
Mm.
don't even know how to play the game of basketball. Because as a matter of fact, it does not. They
Thank
don't
you.
care.
Thank you for saying
Playing
that.
basketball is not even their priority, but
Yes.
they are making impact on a daily
Mm.
basis on that
Mm.
game of
Mm.
basketball.
Yes.
So that's for
Yes.
me where I want a lot of people to start fine-tuning their mindset too, you know.
Mm. Yes.
So, you can be an administrator in sports. There's so many avenues. You can be an agent. There's so many opportunities.
So true.
Look at what you're doing today. Bringing me
Mm.
on this live and everything.
Yes.
Before you know it now, this will become something bigger than just an interview session. You could become a media
Yes,
house.
so
You know,
Thank you.
to become a media house.
Thank you,
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Yes, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm so
there's a
happy.
lot of opportunities for even people who are not sports inclined, and we do employ from time to time. As a matter of fact, I had an interview session with a couple of guys yesterday because we're trying to hire an HR person right now. So when he eventually resumes, his first day at work will not be about layup or how to bounce the ball.
Jump shots or
Not
crossover.
jump shot, nothing.
At all.
You know,
Yes.
exactly. But he will be doing things that will help to promote the game of basketball
Without having to play.
without having to be a player. So these are the things that we should, always think about, and the look into those voids and those opportunities that are lying around.
Yes, it's yours. You're so right. I mean, basically, Bob, with what you're doing, with what I'm doing right now, we're building industries. We're building exactly industries that would benefit everybody, create jobs, create I mean stuff that people can do,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy we had this interview, and you know what, we're still gonna have some more interviews, because
No
right now
problem. I would invite you to Lagos when we finish building one of our courts, man. You need to come
please,
and do some content there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you guys, you hear it? We're going to Lagos.
Yes,
Hanging with the force with Weber Engineering,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Yes.
glad to have you over.
Weber, I'm so grateful for having you on my podcast, and you're gonna be one of the people I'm going to be calling every time. Hey, Web, I want to do this. I want to do this. Please give me your thoughts.
No problem. Yeah, that's fine by me.
I'm so impressed about what you have built and what you're still building, because there are a lot of people who don't really see the potential of what can be. What I always tell people, right, is that basketball, sorry to say, basketball is a game that's dominated by black people. It's dominated by black people. Which country has the highest population of black people? Nigeria. Exactly. So the opportunity that exists within this country, I think players will not even need to travel. If we reach 60% of our potential, players will not even need to travel.
Exactly. No. I was opportune to live in Angola, where basketball is like their own football.
Yes.
In Angola, there's so much like basketball that on Fridays, when you're going to work, unlike what we do here in Nigeria, where you put on native attire and all that, in Angola on Fridays, it's all about who is wearing the nicest Jordan.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like who's wearing the nicest trainers and all of that. So they kind of build this culture around basketball, whereby if you go around the city of Luanda, almost every 500-meter radius, you would realize there's a basketball court. Even if it's small half court, there's a basketball court. Everywhere. Villa Ali's, everywhere. Ilia, you see basketball courts everywhere. And these were part of the things that really inspired me when I came back home to say, look, we can do it here in Nigeria as well. All we need to do is build the capacity, provide the amenities for the game to strive, and people will fall in love with the game naturally. They'll fall in love with the game naturally.
Yeah, there's a question I want to ask, Bob. There are not many Nigerians who have actually gone to live in Angola or something like that. You understand?
Yeah.
There was one boy that actually played. Femi played in Angola. I had an
Yeah,
opportunity to play in Angola, but it didn't come
work
through.
out.
But yes, but I have friends like Kale, what's his name, Armando Costa, the half
Yeah,
cast boy. It's my
Menges
friend.
and all of the guys. Yeah.
Yes, yes, all of them. So what is Angola doing right that Nigeria is doing wrong?
Well, from the little
I know it's a
I
good
could see,
question. Yes.
yeah,
Mm,
it's a very deep question. But from the
yes.
little I could see from a distance in Angola,
Yeah.
the infrastructure was um, well well circulated. When I mean everywhere you go, you see people playing basketball. So
Mm,
that kind of brings up the volume of basketballers
mm,
in the city,
yeah.
compared to other sports. And again, when you go to their nationals, where they call their own national stadium,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic arena, and that's where they're playing the African tournament
Yes.
currently, and it's
Mm,
a fantastic arena. So
mm,
they put their money where their mouth is. That's one thing that
mm,
they've really done. And a lot of the sponsors of teams like Primera de Agosto,
yeah.
um, all
Petro.
these other teams, yeah, Petro, all
Yeah.
these things.
Mm,
Some of these teams were owned by oil and gas companies,
mm,
and it will surprise you. Primera de Agosto is the armed forces team. Yeah, it's
oh.
owned by the military. Yeah, Primera de Agosto is owned by the military. Yeah, so
Okay.
they so they too have got teams that are kind of like state owned, but they are striving
Mm,
and dominating African basketball. You
yeah.
remember in the early 90s up to the late
Yeah.
90s, they dominated club
Wow.
African basketball tournaments and even the national
Yes.
tournaments.
Yes.
So
Mm,
they've been able to they've been able to grow their own talents and keep them. And not only were they able to keep their own grown talents by paying them
mm,
heavily,
mm.
they were also able to attract foreigners who now came to naturalize as Angolans.
Ambulance, yes, I saw some of them. You're right.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we
so
played
there were
against
two
some of
guys
them.
two Americans who eventually came to Angola and naturalized. Unfortunately, we
Mm.
lost one of them. I think it was last month. Yeah,
Oh,
I
sorry.
think he committed suicide or something.
Whoa.
So
Mm.
yeah, so basketball became very enticing, it became a very valued commodity,
Commodity.
in Angola because
Mm.
of the way they went um, about it,
Mm.
commercializing it, and making it. As a matter of fact, you go around the city of Angola, like our Danfo buses in Lagos here, you see Pasuma, you see posters of Portable on them. It's the poster
Yeah.
of Moria, the Angolan players. You see on
Yes.
them
Yeah.
advertising milk, advertising Movicel, advertising Unitel phones,
Yeah.
advertising milk. You go to their train stations, you see huge billboards, of these
Mm.
players. You come into the airport, you see, very massive uh, adverts of the game of basketball with these players' images.
Yeah.
They became idols. They became, there was so much packaging around the game that
Yes.
made the game so enticing and interesting. I think it's all about marketing and getting the right sponsorships and putting our house in order. We have all that it takes to dominate Africa, but unfortunately we are still not yet in that space where we can grow together. Yeah,
we can grow. I think for me, there was an article I wanted to write about. I think the problem of Nigerian basketball is just ego. It's just our egos. So this one will say, I will not step down for you for the good of the game or for anything. You understand? Everybody it's all about me. It's all about. But I don't know. You know what I mean?
I get you. I can't. I don't know why we all can't just live together. Why we can't get busy with other things that would still benefit the game of basketball. We don't really have to be at the helm of affairs. You don't have to be the one cutting making the calls, but at least you can be the strong supporter of that person who's taking these decisions and helping him to make the right decisions. Because exactly, and you still make your own money. So it's all about. But I believe we're getting there gradually. I don't know if you are aware that Moise has built an arena in Abuja.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so very soon a lot of basketball activities will be ongoing in the capital city, and this would really be nothing. Will have nothing to do with the federation or the national. So there can be a lot of private activities, investments and all of these things to grow the game. You really don't have to. You don't have to belong to the federation to make an impact. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You don't have to. Exactly. So you don't have to be on the national team, before you can be valued as a coach. I know a lot of coaches that run academies, silently here in Lagos, and they're making a lot of money, by sending their kids abroad and to America, to Europe. They're not fighting you to be on the national team.
Yeah, it's so true. And I was also talking with somebody yesterday, and I said sometimes bad situations, but actually are opportunities. Like the fact that the basketball activities are not happening the way with the federation, the way that it should actually happen, but it's actually an opportunity for the private sector to actually start.
To jump in. Yeah. So if you feel disgruntled, by people not doing what you feel they should be doing, you can go outside and do your own thing, and if you peradventure feel building an arena is something that you can do with a group of friends or by yourself, go get it done. You definitely will see the rewards. You don't have to force yourself on anybody or force your way into the federation before you can do things that will be impactful the way you want it to be.
Very Mr. Webbs, I'm so happy for all the knowledge, all the you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Everything I know. Yes, I know. It's Lagos right now, and you probably need to start getting home right now.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for having you on my podcast, Hanging with the Force, and I know we're gonna still do some more stuff. We're gonna do some more stuff along the line, and I'm looking forward to coming to Lagos to see your court so that
Yeah.
we can do some content and everything. Yes,
Fantastic. Yeah,
yes.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Big Weber, the pioneer, the entrepreneur. I mean, he's changing the game, and we're trying to follow his footsteps. So thank you for being on our program. You guys,
Thank you for having
we
me.
had a wonderful, yes,
Yeah,
you
thank
guys,
you
we
very
had a
much.
wonderful session. Yes,
Yeah.
we had a wonderful session, and for me, I really don't want this thing to end. I really didn't even want the discussion to end. You understand? But
Yeah,
every good thing
I can feel it.
yes, but every good thing has to come to an end. So this is part one, hanging with the force, and we have my man Weber, Weber, aka Opeyemi Babalola. That name is something strange, man. And, you know, all right. So, man, you
Okay, now.
guys, please have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, to share, and we'll keep on bringing you much more content. Weber, I'm a link up with you
Yeah,
on
sure.
WhatsApp, and then
Sure.
we'll talk business. We'll talk
Yeah,
business.
sure.
Hey,
Okay, man.
man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.